how do we do this show in a time where people can't go to the theater, in a time when we can't even rehearse it? You know, we're trying to produce this show in a time when our country, when this world is going through this pandemic, and we're all being told that we need to stay home, that we can't go and see our friends or our family, that we have to distance ourselves from everybody. So in a time of fear and uncertainty, how do we produce a show that we feel like needs to be produced, a story that needs to be told? You know, we've worked on this play. It's heartbreaking. We've worked on this play for months before we even begin rehearsal. And we definitely don't think that all of that work was for naught, because no matter what, we are going to produce this play. We are going to do this show, and we are going to work as hard as we can to be able to produce this show with the cast that we have, because the cast that we have from this community is amazing. We were able to have a read-through before all of the quarantine and the social distancing happened, and that read-through I would have sold tickets to, because these people are so perfectly placed. You know, sometimes you do a show and the right people show up at the right time, and that's what happened. So we are going to work as hard as we can to make sure that in the event that we have to postpone this play, that we are going to maintain the cast that we have, and that we will be able to maintain the integrity of the show. Now, we're not the only theater company, we're not the only arts organization that is scrambling trying to figure out how to continue their events, how to make sure that these things that we have all put our hearts and our souls into are going to continue on. We don't know when we'll be able to do this, that I don't have the answers. You know, as somebody who's normally behind the table, who's directing people where to go, you always have to have the answers. It's hard. It's hard to not have an answer. You know, normally, even if I have to make it up, I have something to say, but this one is a little different. I truly believe that theater is there to heal our souls. I think that it has that power. You're in a room with a bunch of like-minded people for one moment. And that's what theater is. It is a bunch of people in a room sharing an experience. It's one moment, and it won't come again. That theater is there to help us change, to help us be better. And I believe that To Kill a Mockingbird is the perfect play that will hopefully bring change and to make us better. To Kill a Mockingbird deals with some really intense subject matter. And you get to see all of that subject matter through the eyes of a child and how it changes them towards the end. At the end of the play, Scout says, you know, I feel so much older now. Because we want our kids to be kids for as long as they possibly can. And through this play, through all of the heartbreaking story that we have to go through to get to that point, it is heart-wrenching what happens to Tom Robinson and his family. And then you get to the end of the show, and on top of all of that, we see a child that has had to grow up too fast. That now she has seen the ugliness that is in the world and has to figure out how to deal with that. Atticus Finch talks about how just because we knew we were going to lose, this is of course not the actual quote, but he says, just because we knew that we were going to lose, that we were going to be licked from the beginning, doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. And we're going to try. And we're going to do this show. And I'm going to try to continue to update everybody on the process and make sure that everybody knows when it's going to happen. At the moment, we're not completely sure. But it is going to happen. And it is going to be great. And I look forward to seeing every single one of you there. So, for right now, stay well, keep your distance, and we'll see you soon.